12th meeting minutes. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Pettigo,
Second.
second by Coomer. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving to the reports. Approve the county monthly financial report for December 2023. I need a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion, Judge.
Motion by Durham. Second by Gross. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the county attorney monthly settlement report for November 2023. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer. Second by Gross. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the county clerk November 2023 fee settlement report. Motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Botts.
Second.
Second by Durham. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the county clerk's 2024 fee budget. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Stinson.
Second.
Second by Botts. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the sheriff's November 2023 fee report, subject to audit. Motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer.
Second.
Second by Stinson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the sheriff's 2024 fee budget report, or fee budget, sorry. Motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Botts.
Second.
Second by Durham. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to amend the annual order setting a maximum amount for deputies and assistants from $1.7 million to $1.85 million. Need a motion and a second.
Make a motion.
Motion by Kinslow.
Second.
Second by Gross. Discussion.
Anything on the judge?
Yeah, why don't you enlighten everybody?
Gotcha. So basically, this is a state requirement they have to send in to say how much they're going to need to spend on salaries for the deputies and assistants. It's a limit that they're put at, and this is not anything to do with their current or anything to do with the 6 months that we're dealing with. This is just something we have to set to send to Frankfurt. Am I saying that correctly? Yes. Okay. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, department reports. Building inspector.
Actually got one this time.
Okay.
Try not to bother you too much.
Second, right?
If you don't care, just pass it down or two.
Yes.
Two different things.
All two different. Get that one out.
One of them is just to let you know where we stand so far this year. It's number of permits that have been issued is at 213. Fees brought in from the county and the city, which if you don't know, we get to keep 70% of the fees that we collect from the city. We're reimbursed 70%. They keep 30%. That's been the agreement for quite some time. Just figured I'd let you know kind of what's been brought in. We're about, believe it or not, halfway through, just about.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, unbelievable. The other one is, it's talking about the solar farm. I'm assuming you guys have heard about this. There's a 2,300 acre solar farm going to locate in Barren County. A few months ago, I had us adopt an actual fee schedule because we never had one before for solar farms. So now that we have the paperwork, and I think that got approved last night, right, Kevin? All right, so Kevin had given me this piece of paper yesterday just to look over, and I think we have left something out of the fee schedule. And I highlighted it there. It says steel piles. Basically what that is, if any of you guys have seen the solar farm in Summershade, so they have to drive these steel piles. That one was a minimum of 5.5 feet into the earth. There are 28,512, approximately, looking to be driven. As building inspector, we actually have to look at that and check that. It's kind of, this is a huge project, but it's something that we will be at times, multiple times a week. I would say maybe even once a day occasionally for weeks at a time. And I left that, I didn't even think about it, to be honest with you, but left that out, kind of a new thing. I would like to, not that we're gonna do this right now, but I just wanted to make you aware, we need to amend our new fee schedule to include inspection for steel piles. So,
Yeah, and which we can start that in January, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it just got approved, it's gonna take quite some time. June of '26, we got time.
Yep.
But, you know, I mean, never know, we may have a smaller one pop up between now and then, so I just wanted to be ready. But back to what we brought in, does anybody have any questions for me?
You've got 25 cents on that.
Yep, 25 cents per pile.
Is that on top of the inspection fee of going there?
Well, so solar farms operate, we set up a fee schedule that's different than normal because like I said, we'll be there, it's 2,300 acres. We got a lot to look at. But that's just gonna be added to the fee, you know. It's just gonna be, all of the things are gonna condense down into one fee. They'll pay it at one time. It covers the whole entire project. It's something new for us,
Yeah.
something new for me. I mean,
And it's gonna generate a lot of income for the county.
yeah, it will, but it's gonna be a lot of work. Like I said, there'll be times where, you know, shoot, I may be over there every day, you know. Yep, I did the building inspections at the one in Summershade, and it was a lot. There were times where I had to be over there every day. So I just didn't want us to be spending money, I mean, fuel and all that, so.
I know it'd just be hard to drive over for 10 of them at 25 cents.
Well, right, no, you know, it's gonna total up, I wish, it was something like $7,000 just for inspection of the steel piles. If I had to shoot a guess at what the total building permit will be, building permit will probably be total of around $30-something thousand, where the electrical permitting fee is 1.25% of several million. We're looking at probably $130,000 in electrical inspection fees, and about 30,000, give or take, on building.
Thank you.
So it is a huge project. Just another note, on the 28th, we got one last hoop to jump through for expanded jurisdiction, which approximately, depending on how things keep going, should add anywhere from 70 to way over $100,000 a year income, where we get to take on what used to be state jurisdiction and inspected and permitted jobs. We're gonna be able to do that locally. It's great for growth and all that. I know we've all talked about that before, but one last hoop, we've got to take a proctored exam kinda in our office. They provide us with a set of plans that have discrepancies. We got to catch those. Wish us luck. No pressure, right? But it's an 8-hour thing, and hopefully that goes well, and probably sometime by spring we'll have that. So.
That's huge. It really is. It's a massive benefit to commercial properties and development here in Barren County.
Yep.
Yes.
Anybody got any questions for me?
Great job.
Thank you. Merry
Okay.
Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Next up, Coroner, Mr. Gibson.
Good morning, Court. Just a brief, for year-to-date, we've had 162 families that we have assisted of losing a loved one, and we've had 25 autopsies we've had to do this year and take those to Louisville to check on that. Last year, I know we still got a couple of weeks left in this year, but last year, we had 180 calls with 14 autopsies. So our autopsies have doubled this year. Just a lot of different reasons that they have to be taken to Louisville for that. But I'll get you guys a full report, probably January, or if not February. I've still got some autopsies out I'm waiting on, so it might be February, but I'll get you a year report then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. County Clerk. You have to sing too while you're up here.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Are y'all awake? So don't be boring. Be excited. Okay, there we go. So, as you've heard, we have some big changes coming in 2024, and I'm just, instead of boring you with numbers this morning, I just want to kind of go over a little bit of that so you hear it from me, and for the folks that are home with nothing better to do than watch us on YouTube, then they get to hear it from us also. And actually, it's helpful for y'all because your constituents are going to be asking you about this, and you may get some complaints because I've already gotten complaints since yesterday when we posted this, or I did it. I posted it on Facebook. So the first big change that I think folks are going to have is all license plates stay with the customer, not the car. So some of us already have a specialty plate on our vehicle, and we know that, if, for example, I have the Horse Council plate on my vehicle. If I get a new vehicle, I keep my Horse Council plate, and once that new vehicle is transferred into my name, my Horse Council plate goes onto my new vehicle. You may have a Western Kentucky University plate on your vehicle. That plate stays with you, and you put that on, so on and so forth, okay? So what we're not used to is our standard Kentucky plate staying with us. So that is a new thing. It's not really something that it's not really, okay, it's new process because under our current motor vehicle system, we weren't able to do this. The standard plates had to stay with the vehicle. Under the new system that we're gonna get, it's gonna allow us to go ahead and reissue those standard plates onto the new vehicle that's purchased. So if someone gets a new vehicle and they have the regular, we'll call it the blue and white license plate for right now, the blue and white standard Kentucky plate on their vehicle, they're gonna keep that plate with them, and then once that new vehicle is in their name, then they're gonna have that plate put onto that vehicle. Now, some folks are like, well, is that gonna be helpful? I think it'll be helpful for folks that maybe say, let's say it's February, you just renewed your tags on your vehicle, and then you trade that vehicle off in March, you still have a plate that's good for a whole year, and you don't lose that time. Because a lot of folks are like, oh, I just renewed my license plate, can I keep it? So you couldn't before, but starting in January, you'll be able to. So any questions about keeping your license plate? Another new thing, and I'll,
What about if you just sell your vehicle and you just keep it and bring it back into the clerk's
yeah.
office?
So if you just sell it individual to individual, just keep that plate, take that plate off before, and you'll bring that plate in with you. Obviously, we can't reissue it until you have a vehicle you want to put it on, and then we'll reissue it onto that vehicle. So I think one thing that's kind of a little bit concerning for me is folks are just going to start taking their plate off and putting it on a vehicle before it's ever issued to that vehicle, and that'll just give our law enforcement officers more work to do because they're going to be pulling people over with these plates that aren't issued. So you can't just take it and put it on a car. It actually has to be issued to that vehicle. So
What about the time period between, say, I sell a vehicle and we just sign it over?
yes, so you come to the clerk's office, you transfer it.
So they would have to come in the next day or two, or they do that without a license?
Yes, they're gonna have to have a plate to put on there. And obviously, dealers are still gonna be using temp tags, but if it's individual to individual, I would recommend that everybody always come to your local clerk's office, whether it's here in Barren County or another county across the state, and do your transfer in person, because so many days, pretty much every day, we see folks come in to renew their tags on a vehicle they currently own, and a vehicle they sold, a year ago was still in their name, and they're like, I sold that, I signed it, and gave them the title. Well, that's not out of your name until you watch it get transferred out of your name. So I just really encourage people to never just give someone an open title, because that doesn't mean it's out of your name yet. So, take your plates off. And you obviously still have the option to buy a new plate if you want to get a new plate. And this year, Kentucky is actually going to be issuing out new standard plates. You're going to see those coming out. We should have had them by now, but I guess there's a delay in production. So we're going to see new standard plates. One is kind of a light blue color with the Kentucky state seal. That's going to be one option. And the other option is the Kentucky plate that some of you have seen that has the grass at the bottom, the green grass at the bottom. It says Team Kentucky. They're taking the Team Kentucky off, and I think it just keeps the green grass. So those are the two standard plate options. And over the next year to two, they want all of Kentucky to switch out to the new plates. So if you have a standard plate, once we ever get the new shipment in, then we can switch you out. But just main thing is keep your plate. If you have a blue and white plate, that's what I'm going to refer to it as, and don't send that off with your card. If you do, it's no big deal. We'll just give you a new one. Okay? All right. The other big thing that, because of the new system, we're going to have to ask for ID, which we do that in a transfer anyway. But when you come in for renewal, we're going to ask you for your driver's license or Kentucky ID. Hopefully you have a driver's license if you're driving your vehicle. So we're going to ask you for that. We'll be scanning those driver's license in. It brings up all your information in the new system. The touchy subject of all this is the electric vehicles, starting next year, will be assessed $120, and that is a fee that is a flat fee. It's an annual flat fee that will go towards the state road fund. That's not money that we keep in Barren County, that goes to the state. And then the hybrid vehicles and electric motorcycles will be assessed a similar fee of $60 annually. So some of you that have hybrid vehicles or electric vehicles or motorcycles, you'll get something in the mail. You may get it separate from your renewal notification, or it may be on there. I don't know yet exactly how they're going to do it. This is all new to us. We get all the questions, but they just give us this much information. So we just found out a few weeks ago about this. So it's time to start messaging it. Some folks are accepting of it, and some folks aren't. And I hate that, because it's just going to give us, more complaints, but we can't change it. It's what it is. So that'll be a fee that can be paid online or at the clerk's office at the time of renewal. Okay, it's associated with the VIN on those vehicles. And then exciting news, there's more than 24 new license plates coming out. Not just the new standard plate, but there's lots of new plates coming out. I'm personally excited about the new MIA POW plate that's coming out. It's a solid black plate with the emblem from the POW MIA flag on that plate. So I'm pretty excited about that. There's one for nurses. There's going to be an EMT plate. I think a motorcycle plate for firefighters. We don't have that currently. There's a bourbon barrel plate. It says Bardstown, something about Bardstown community, but I think it'll be popular. Anyone in Kentucky can get it. And then there's a few others, too numerous to mention, but you can find all of those on our website at barren.countyclerk.us if you would like to take a look at those. They're not available just yet, but we'll have them in January, hopefully. Okay. Questions, concerns? Remember, and December 29th is our last day for motor vehicle renewals, transfers, registration, disabled parking placards, to file liens on vehicles, I can't think, to change a license plate, anything to do with a motor vehicle, we will not be able to do after December 29th until January the 9th, if all goes well. Again, we're going to continue updating through Facebook to let people know. If it all goes terribly, we'll either be back up and running way before the 9th, or it may be a little after the 9th. So just bear with us and ask your folks to bear with us. If your vehicle is due in January, you cannot renew until January, because the taxes will not be loaded by the state until January for all January renewals. So basically, anyone that's due this month, please get in and take care of that, and otherwise, just hang in there. We'll let you know. Yes, sir.
Does the county have any fee on electric vehicles?
We get property we get taxes, but we don't have a fee on it, no. Not like, no, we're not assessing this road tax fee.
Yes.
We're not assessing anyone. That, all that money is going to the state. But we get like you would on your property tax portion.
Okay.
You see, like you would, do you understand what I'm saying?
Because I know if you get buy a gallon of gas, so much of that goes to tax.
Yes, and that's where this is all coming from, because they're not buying the gas. So they're trying to come up with an alternative way to still collect those fees, yes. Okay? All right, bear the bad news. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
But that's, on the second of that, that's also the fees that goes back into the money that comes back to the counties to improve the roads. So it's all, yep. Yep. Next up, Drug Task Force. Not, Mr. Lafferty's out today. Aaron Shirley, our jailer. Morning.
All right. Last month, we booked in 233 inmates. We released 267. We collected $18,243.78 in jail fees. Then on to our Class D program. Each month we do this. It's not the month that we just had. At the end of each month, we have to generate this report and send it into the state. So this is not for December, it's for November and back. So when I give these last numbers, this is still not our total for the year. There was one number I was trying to hit, and we will hit it by the end of the year. I just was really hoping to hit it by this month. So we'll go over that here in just a second. But for the month of November, they picked up, they traveled 124.9 miles. They picked up 599 bags of trash, 42 tires, 52 wildlife, and they worked 6,240 inmate hours. For the year up to November, through November, they have went 1,816 miles. They picked up 11,681 bags of trash, 424 tires, 198 wildlife, and they have put in 66,352 inmate hours, either picking up trash or helping with buildings or whatever it is throughout the county. At $15 an hour, they have saved the county $995,280. I was really hoping to hit $1 million before the December report, but by the time we get December in, it will be over $1 million of savings to the county. So that's our report. Any questions?
Great job.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parks and Rec? Nothing. Okay. Road Department?
Good morning.
Morning.
Jamie is not here this morning. They're out replacing a cross tile out on J. Carter Road this morning. So he's busy with that. Keep it short and sweet. We got our oil storage tank up. It's got oil in it. We've been using it. Salt storage bin is done. We've been pothole patching, mowing with the boom mower, trimming with the mower max, and trying to finish up our tree cleanup for the year. I'm in the process of getting together a yearly report for each one of you on what's been done in your area, some of the projects we've got going on, what we're gonna have in 2024. So as soon as the year's up, I'll get that to you.
And the tank that went up, and it's ready to go for the total patcher,
Yep,
which
we've been
is,
pulling oil out of it.
that's
so.
great.
Any questions?
Still getting lots of comments. Everybody's been praising you all. Okay, the road department's done. Next up will be Sheriff, and he is sick today, so you know it. Okay, good to go. Administrative and Budget Committee, Mr. Kinslow.
I'll give it a try. Right now, I've been losing my voice the last couple of days. Brad may have to take over. We met yesterday afternoon in the conference room in there. We really didn't have a lot going on. We did make a motion to amend the annual order setting the maximum amount for deputies and assistants for the Sheriff's Department, which we've already went over that in court today and did that amendment in front of the whole court. The other two items that we did, we discussed the U.S. Bank building property, the renovation that's going on there. Just wanted to get an idea of, you know, a ballpark figure of what we were looking at cost-wise. I wanted to be in the loop on that, so we went over that. And when Building and Property give their report, he'll go into more detail. He was also on my committee meeting yesterday, so I'll let him go over that. He doesn't have a bad voice today. And then the other item that we discussed was the Jackie Browning ballpark renovations, and we just wanted to be brought up to speed a little more about what that actually entailed, what it was going to cost, and later in the meeting here we'll go into that in more detail. So that's all we did today. The only action we took was to amend the sheriff's budget. So that was it for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kinslow. Next up will be the Building and Property Committee, Mr. Jeff Botts.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Wyatt, as he was my PE teacher when I was in Eastern, and he's part of the man that I am now because of the discipline that the teachers was allowed to do years ago. I know all about the paddling, and he was a giant, seemed like, when I was there, but I appreciate him and people like you that was in education, and you all had the right to be able to discipline us. But anyway, thank you a lot for that. I'll go on. I want to thank Aaron. One of the things, part of our property committee, and seeing the work that his jail inmates have done for a couple of our projects, saving the county a lot of money. I just wanted to thank them and the guys that he's having up there overseeing them, and the inmates themselves, thanking them for the work that they're doing up there. I want to thank Garland for gathering quotes. It's been a lot of stressful times just trying to meet people and getting quotes, and thank our judge for her energy and doing what she's doing on that. So what we've got is a few quotes we're going to try to get approved this morning with the court. Our committee approved each one that I'm going to present to you, and we'll have a full court approval. So first item will be, we've got to do access control to the building. And letting you know that most everyone knows the health department will be in the first floor of this building. They're doing construction, and they're paying that out of their pocket, the construction. They have already hired a company that give us a quote, and it's Cortec, and I'm going to make a motion that we, for the access control, and we can get in more details, Masters, if you want to see what actually is going on, but that price is going to be, to install that, is $12,062.16, and my motion is to have them because of the Barren County Health Department has already hired them to do the first floor. We thought we would just combine with them and have the same people doing that, and our committee decided to do that, so I'm making a motion that you all, we would approve that. $12,062.16 is my motion.
There's a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kramer. Sorry, Stinson, I think he got you. Any discussion? Okay. We'll do a roll call vote.
Jeff Botts.
Yes.
Derek Pettigo.
Yes.
Tim Durham.
Yes.
Tim Coomer.
Yes.
Marty Kinslow.
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson.
Yes.
Brad Gross.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item that I'm going to talk about is the networking cabling that's got the whole entire building has to get all new cables. And like I said, I'm out of my expertise, but Garland's been dealing with some companies coming in. And the one that our committee had voted on to do, the proposal was on the networking cabling would be the BK Tech, which is doing our stuff now. And that would be the entire building of cabling for $15,805.57, and that's in form of a motion for the networking of BK Tech.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Stinson. Any discussion? We'll do a roll call vote.
Derek Pettigo,
Yes.
Tim Durham,
Yes.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson,
Yes.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Jeff Botts.
Yes. Next line, we met, or the judge had a couple of companies come and look over at all our properties, and we met with Ascendant a couple of different times and talking with them, and our decision as a committee, we found out with hiring HVAC on the HVAC of that building is going to have to be really looked at, and we're going to have to do some major decisions on that. We've got another company, Garland, in town that's looking at giving us just their opinion of that. So this company that we're talking with to oversee is our recommendation of our committee, because Garland's trying to oversee it, the judge is trying to oversee it, and doing a great job. But if we had, I brought up a point in our committee meeting, if we had that disaster, what Clarksville had, then they would have been out of commission for however long that's going to be. So we need to look at, or our recommendation is hiring Ascendant facility partners to come in and do their expertise, since we're needing expertise on the HVAC, and hopefully helping us out on the lighting and in some other properties that we have. And this is just, my motion is to hire them as, or be a part of our team to look at our facilities, and we have to do that we have to pass that in fiscal court to let them go to work. Our goal as a committee is they'll be able to help to find some grant money and that's out there that we don't have any idea about. And one of the other things is their expertise, Philip and Stuart, in HVAC, which is going to be a big item that we're looking at. So we're recommending, and I'm going to make that in a motion, to hire Ascendant as facility partners to come on board and help manage, for sure, the U.S. Bank building, which is not called that now, but we're still calling it that. So that's my motion, and if there's any other discussion, we can in the discussion time.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to select, we did an RFQ for an energy savings company to facilitate and manage our properties. And we have chosen the Ascendant's partners. That's the motion on the floor, is to choose Ascendant's facility partners to do an overall review and manage our properties. Do I need a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kramer. Discussion. Okay, just make sure everybody understands there's no cost involved in the selection of this. They are just more of a contract person that we will use on deciding on what we do with these properties, and they will help us facilitate bids and get these projects moving.
And on the record, I know in some of the meetings, we would aggressively want them to start looking at the HVAC and lighting of the U.S. Bank. I understand it's holiday time, but work it in your all schedule, and we would appreciate that, just for the progress to continue on the flow it's going. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, there's a motion and a second on the floor. Okay, we'll do all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Lots going on, but it's all moving, so I appreciate everybody that's been involved with all that property. I will say this, Garland Gillum's done a great job in regards to the U.S. Bank, putting a lot of time of his into even doing some of the updates as well. So Next up, Emergency Management and Solid Waste Committee, Mr. Stinson.
No meeting, Judge.
Okay. Jail Committee, Mr. Durham.
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Parks and Rec Committee, Mr. Pettigo. Yeah, so we didn't have a meeting, but there are some things we need to run through the committee we didn't have an official meeting, but there's some stuff that Mr. Pettigo needed to bring up today.
On our Phase A renovations at Jackie Browning Park, I'll make a motion to get that started.
Okay. I'll go in more detail during discussion. We need we're voting today from the Parks and Rec Committee, as the chair has just made a motion to proceed with Phase A of the Jackie Browning Park renovation project to be started today. So that's Phase A, which is $798,128.50. Again, I'll go into full detail. I need a second. Second by Mr. Gross. Okay. So we have discussion. Let me explain this. Okay, Jackie Browning Park renovation. This is what's going on so everybody can understand. So we are taking 4 fields and converting them to 6 fields. We're turning Field 1 into 3 fields. In addition to that, we're creating brand new parking by Field 4, which will also increase handicap parking right by the gate to get in. In addition to changing the 4 fields to 6 fields, we're adding a playground structure that we've already purchased that will be installed. We're adding sidewalks. We are paving. We are doing we're building a facility there by the playground in between the brand new 3 fields to add additional restrooms to Jackie Browning Park for both the men and the women, and a shade structure area to sit for our patrons in between games. And then in addition to that, we're building a facility where the current batting cages are that will be moved to the back of the fields, and that is for our umpires, a restroom, and a separate area for staff parking. So this is a massive improvement. In addition to that, we are buying shade structures for every field at Jackie Browning Park. So there will be 12 shade structures for all of our people going out there to watch their kids and grandkids. They won't have to sit in the sun anymore and bake on those long Saturdays where they're playing a bunch of games. And we're adding bleachers as well, because we have literally 1 set of bleachers at Jackie Browning Park right now. So this project will move Jackie Browning Park into a park that we can all be proud of, and major improvements that everyone will benefit from. So that's my say. And I will say the money parts of it. I did get a bond for up to $2 million approved through Department of Local Government. I've already been to Frankfurt. That's been approved. And so we will not spend up to $2 million, but we have that option to spend up to $2 million. Even if we were to go all the way up to $2 million, our bond payment, we sold the bond for a 4%, and it's $150,000 max per year. We spent the last year, in your fiscal year, last fiscal year 23, we spent $155,000 on construction renovation at Jackie Browning Park, and we stayed within the budget. So this will be no additional money spent on tax dollars each year compared to years before. This will keep us still within, the way we're doing this financially will keep us within our spending limits on Jackie Browning Park. There will be no additional fees needed in regards to taxes. So, did I say that enough, clear enough? Was that for you, good enough for you, Mr. Jennings? Okay. I'm passionate about it. Can you tell? You got it? Okay. Does anybody else have anything they want to say?
Hey, Judge.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly support the judge in this endeavor. I've been to a lot of ballparks over the years with my kids playing travel ball, and I think we've got a unique opportunity to transform our park into something we will all be proud of. And I think the new parking lot on the lower level, it's going to make it a lot easier for access for our elderly and our handicapped to get down to the ballparks, too. I think that's a big asset there, too.
Yeah, I mean, the completion of this project will have a paved parking lot at Jackie Browning as well, which will be a huge addition with lines. I mean, we have a very unsafe environment out there right now with no lighting in the parking lot. This will add additional lighting as well to the parking lot at Jackie Browning. So I fully support this.
I'll go ahead and voice my concerns, just so we're all, I'm in all way for youth in our ball fields. Committed to not voting for any large improvements to our ballpark until we can have more ground space. With adding the 2 fields, I feel like already there's such a congestion between the ball game. Parking lots, I know we'll have. We're looking at a 20-year commitment to taxpayers that I know none of us will be here in 20 years. This is my personal opinion. I'll be a no vote on this. With all the other projects we having going on, and I know we have money to do these, and with the new, it'll be 3 or 4 years before we redo the old courthouse, but I know there's going to be a lot of money spent in there and some bonding going to take place there. And it's not that I'm not for our kids, I'm not for helping older people be in the shade, but this is just my personal opinion that we need a larger area to expand and just quit just putting everything into a smaller place. So I just want that to be known that I will be a no vote.
And then we've talked about that, and I completely respect that. The issue of what we're doing right now is we're taking the space that we have and maximizing that. If we were to ever get more land, that land would be beneficial to more of like the bigger fields for like your whole older children. So we're taking a big field right now that's not being utilized for its size. We just don't use it enough. We play t-ball and coach pitch on it. And I think the playground addition and where we're putting it will be a huge added just luxury for our citizens that are out there. No one's trying to put the county in any financial means. This is a business decision the way we're doing it. Like I said, we're pushing it out. We're not spending the assets that we have. And you're going to have continued, your regular property taxes are going to be coming in. We toured west. We went to Bowling Green yesterday. And I met with Warren County Parks. I took some magistrates and I took some city council members just to see how they do things. And I get that Bowling Green is a lot bigger than we are, but their Warren County Parks and Rec budget is over $5 million. Our Barren County Parks and Rec is like, I think what's the total amount on it? Do you know the total amount on our budget? Less than $500,000.
I believe it's 498,000.
And we generate almost 200 and some thousand in income. Warren County Parks, they are targeted each year to generate $275,000 out of a $5 million budget of income. So, you know, we've got to think in terms of where do you want to see your tax dollars spent. Nobody's taking tax dollars away from any department to do any of these things. So I want everybody to understand that. This is not for just the magistrates. This is for general public to understand, is that the way we're doing it will not be any additional fees. It won't need additional taxes. It won't need, it's not Band-Aiding things, it's fixing it. And as a business, I have businesses outside of it, this is how you don't just Band-Aid. You have to fix things. Okay, roll call.
Tim Durham,
Yes.
Tim Coomer,
No.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson,
Yes.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Jeff Botts.
Yes.
Derek Pettigo,
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you all. Next up will be the Transportation Committee report.
The only thing I have on the Transportation Committee is a new pay rate scale beginning January 1. I think all of y'all have that in front of you. I make the motion that we accept this new pay rate schedule starting January 1.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor by Mr. Coomer and a second by Kinslow. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, gotcha. And I still love you, Mr. Coomer. Okay, old business. There's no old business today to bring up. New business. Need to approve the payment of claims as presented. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Botts.
Second.
Second by Pettigo. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the transfer of funds. Motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Durham. Second by Stinson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Harry Eskin, Cornerstone Information, rescheduled for, so we're not doing that today, okay? We will move that to the next meeting. Need to approve the second reading of ordinance number 689, accepting Madison Lane into the county road system. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Stinson. Second by Gross. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the second reading ordinance of number 690, change the limit from 3,000 to 5,000 for fiscal court approval of purchase.
Motion.
Motion by Botts.
Second.
Second by Durham, second by Pettigo. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve appointments to boards and councils. Today, the only one that we have today is we need to reappoint Wes Kinslow, and Chris Reed is being reappointed to the Ambulance Service Taxing District. We need to make that motion and second to approve these two individuals back to the Ambulance Service Taxing District.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer.
Second.
Second by Stinson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we've already done Jackie Browning renovation discussion. We've already done the renovations for the, I always keep that on there just in case. We've already approved the other three on the agenda because that was included in the Phase A. So we need to approve the county contribution to the soccer complex for new restrooms, $51,000 to Procrete LLC. We'll be using LGEA funds to pay for this, which are approved to use for Parks and Rec. I need a motion and a second. Motion by Gross.
Second.
Second by Pettigo. Discussion on these. I'm on the soccer complex board. We voted as a board to add new restrooms. So anybody playing in the soccer league in the spring, you will have nice restroom facilities, much better than it's ever been. Mr. Mott, you can agree there was a need for that one. Yes, yes. So we all play soccer. So there will be new restrooms at the soccer complex, compliments of Barren County and the City of Glasgow and the soccer complex board.
You said this was paid for by a grant, correct?
Well, no, we have LGEA funds.
LGEA.
Yeah, we can, and they're approved to use on Parks and Rec. Yep. Okay, we'll do a roll call.
This is our part
Oh,
of the
sorry.
consortium, right?
Do what?
This is our part of the consortium, right?
Right, yeah. Well, basically, the county and the city are paying for the restrooms. We are working a deal out to where the actual consortium will we're almost loaning it, in a way, because this consortium doesn't have the money to front the payment, but the consortium will eventually pay back to the city. We're the city and the county to do that. So we're working towards all that. We're trying to increase the amounts that every entity puts in to be able to do those things. That's the reason why the soccer complex has never had the upgrades that it needs, is the 4 entities were not paying enough to do any of the upgrades. So
this was bid out correctly?
yes, it was put to bid. Did we bid or the city bid it? I think maybe we put the bid out. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, the city had the plans. Yep. So it's another issue where we're working with the city hand in hand to make these things happen. So it's a positive thing. Okay, roll call.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson,
Yes.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Jeff Botts,
Yes.
Derek Pettigo,
Yes.
Tim Durham,
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries. Thank you all. Need to approve the lease with the Barren County School System. We had a great meeting with Barren County Schools in regards to our lease with their baseball fields and the partnership that we have with them. We want to continue that partnership, but we did make a few changes to the agreement that was reoccurring. We pulled out the North Jackson fields as part of our responsibility to upkeep. We did keep, though, Eastern Elementary and Red Cross Elementary fields in there for our response. So we are the responsible party to keep those up to playing capacity for practices and keeping them clean and stuff like that. Am I saying that correctly? Okay. We will, and we need to do that because we need more practice fields. But it was a mutual agreement that we would pull the North Jackson fields off of the agreement. Yep. I just need your permission to sign the lease. I need a motion and a second. Motion by Gross.
Second.
Second by Pettigo. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, discuss Ag Expo, thank you all. Need to discuss the Ag Expo, Lord, what's wrong with me? Feasibility study. Okay, this is no secret. I think that we've been pushing, everybody knows this, for a Ag Expo Center for Cave City. We've brought up from a 2004 try that they tried to get done. And we've had some wonderful meetings with magistrates as well as elected officials, from Senator David Givens to Representative Steve Riley. They asked for a feasibility study. The Senate asked for that. So we said we would do that. And the Ag Extension Office Board the other day just approved they would pay for the feasibility study. The feasibility study is being done by an individual, Mr. Peak. He is originally from LaRue County, and he is with the University of Georgia, and he has done studies over Ag Expo centers and stuff like that all over. And I think he'll be able to give us the information we need to be able to proceed and request money from the state and federal level. So basically, I'm signing the contract today, but it's cost nothing to the county because it's already been approved to be paid for. So I just need a motion and a second to sign the contract.
Make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Durham.
Second.
Second by Mr. Stinson. Another thing, too, for the city of Cave City, if we can get this done, and I'm working as hard as I can, it will be a huge impact to that area. I was in, where were we at? Corbin, Kentucky over the weekend, and they have an arena over there, and it's a big arena, but the amount of things that are brought to areas when you have those facilities like that are insane, and what it can do to your economy. And we have, just like Corbin has, they have I-75 going through it, we have I-65, so. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. I will sign that. It will start. Should have it done by the end of February, just in time while session is in. So, next up, closing remarks. I forgot to mention this, but I want to give a shout out to Mr. Garland Gillum. In our emergency management department, from the storm in March, the windstorm that hit, our road department, our employees were out continually doing cleanup. And Ms. Susan Gibson kept up with a lot of the information and record keeping, and by doing the things the way we did it and keeping up with those records and submitting and following the rules with FEMA, the county is receiving $206,920 back, and 73 cents has already been put in the bank in general fund, and we have 2,500 more coming. So that's money that will just go right back into the general fund. So that is a massive, great job, Garland. Thank you, Santa. Yeah, Garland's our Santa this year, and you're Miss Claus, Susan. Okay, that is great. Seriously, if you do things the right way, your county will benefit from it. The next thing, closing remarks. Lastly, I've got some concerts coming up with Helping the Hard Working. The tickets are on sale right now, actually, if you would like to come to any of those. I've got everybody a seat right up front for Little John. I'm kidding. The magistrates, if y'all want to come, you can. But these things like this, these concerts, they bring in so much business to our local businesses that it's just amazing. And I've had a lot of talk from other areas as to, they see what we're doing, and we're on the path, people. We're working, and it's not just the concerts. It's from economic development. Everything we are doing, whether it's Parks and Rec, improving our images, is helping. It is helping, and we will. There will be stuff to come in Barren County, and we will do everything we can to make sure it does. So, I will end by saying I cannot believe it's already been a year. It has been a pleasure, or a year that we've been in office. It's been a pleasure to serve on the fiscal court with all the magistrates here, and I appreciate it. Whether we've agreed or disagreed on things, I feel like the best thing about it is we've been able to talk afterwards and figure out how to fix it. And I do appreciate that. I appreciate all the department heads, and I wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Does anybody have anything else to say? Oh, and staff. I appreciate all the staff. I didn't say anything about just the staff in general, but it's been a fun year. Exciting. Not a dull moment, right? Okay, well, thank you all so much for being here today. I need a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting.
Motion.
Motion by Pettigo. Second by, who was that? Oh, sorry, Coomer. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Being adjourned. 10:03, I am on it. 1 hour meetings. I am to the time. It's